as we open up with Tehuti, who's the Neter of intelligence, the Neter of wisdom. In fact, it was through Tehuti that the Neter, or the divine house, was created by Tehuti's wisdom. Now, was Tehuti was Tehuti a ibis bird with a human body? Tehuti represented an ancient priesthood that came up out of Cush. In the Per Emaru, it is also Tehuti that wrote down your deeds on earth, long before John wrote down deeds. It's Tehuti that gave the call that a set would have a holy birth and immaculate conception long before it was corrupted by Christianity and turned into Gabriel. So Tehuti represented all the great wisdom of Kemet. But Tehuti also had teachers too, and that is Khepri. Khepri was the beetle at morning time, like now, coming into being. Khepri represented us at our time of our beginning. Like 6 o'clock in the morning, that's your Khepri, that's your beginning. At high noon, that is your maturity, that is your Khepera. And also at 6 o'clock in the evening, that's where I'm at Tum. I'm becoming an elder now. By following that time clock, just like you have a watch on your hand to follow your course of your day, you equally had that time to follow what you had to do before you left this physical body to go on. So Tehuti is here, although you see him, it's been cut out, some of his face, but you see the long bill symbolizing writing, because it is said it's from Tehuti's fingers that wrote the Per Emaru. When you saw the red, when I showed and did the comparison with the Bible, and showed where Men Keparatiti Maids was talking, but when Anna referred back to him as in red, whereas Tehuti that used his fingers to write the Per Emaru, or coming forth by day and by night. It's through his great wisdom that all others and the Nisu had to come before Tehuti to achieve that great wisdom. So you see that all the writing that we see here, he's also got the staff of millions of years, calculating time itself, because he also personified time. He personified the celestial bodies of the universe. After all, his celestial body is what? The moon, the lunar cycle. And by using that migratory bird that had a migratory cycle, then they used that that corresponded with the phases of the moon. So Tehuti became that Neter that represent the lunar principle. So again, one of the highest principles of Kemet would be Tehuti, and then before Tehuti would be Khepri. So if we want to find out who is Imhotep's teacher, Tehuti. Who's Tehuti's teacher? Khepri. So when we think of those pyramids that were built, then we have to go back to the priesthood of who? Tehuti. That was passed down by Khepri. So this is the great wisdom. Now how does it end up in Western world? It ends up as Hermes in Greek with the staff. It also ends up in Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury and Jupiter, you know Mercury. And the Hadith in the Quran, he is called Jibril. And also in the Quran, he's called Taha. Okay, the caller. Now, wasn't it Tehuti who was the caller, who gave the call that a set would have a holy birth and immaculate conception? So here we see that Tehuti transcends all time. And it's from Tehuti that many cultures down through the millenniums took from that spiritual ancient concept of ancient Kemet and incorporated it into the Western world. So when we see the various symbols in the West, the various symbols in the Greek culture, the Roman culture, the Bible, even the Quran, Buddhism, Krishna, we have to go back here to see the prototype, the beginning. This is where it all started from. So it's good to see here the books in stone. It's not animal worship, but representing the great wisdom and intelligence of Tehuti.